Hi, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jerrel. I develop video games commercially for a living, and today I wanted to discuss a writing technique that is used in the Stranger Things Netflix series to basically set itself apart and give the audience a uniquely exciting and interesting experience. I want to discuss the narrative device of how the show gives information to the audience but withholds it from the characters. This is done in a mostly unique and interesting way in Stranger Things that I have not seen in other shows or movies. This is a narrative device that is not uncommon, withholding information from the characters but giving that information to the audience. It's a way to keep the audience engaged. But the way that Stranger Things does it is so very interesting, so I want to go over that today. Now, much of my work involves writing, and I know that many people here that are subscribed to the channel look forward to hearing about advice about writing. So today I want to discuss that this is basically my favorite thing about Stranger Things, and it is what I believe the secret sauce is for Stranger Things, what makes it so special. This narrative device is not something that is normally used very prominently. It's just a small part of the storytelling aspect. But in Stranger Things, it is the core narrative device that is used to build tension and keep the audience engaged. It builds up tension to a point where things, this is the breaking point, this is the climax of the story. And then when that information is passed amongst all the characters that do need the information, when that information is finally passed between all the characters, there's a huge sense of relief and catharsis. So let's first take a look at Season 1. In Season 1, Joyce and Hopper are in their own group investigating the lab that is involved with experimenting on Eleven, which they believe is involved with Will's disappearance. They learn about the goings-on and the people involved with the lab. They eventually get captured by the lab, and they make a deal to enter the upside-down world through a gate that is in the lab so they can rescue Will. Jonathan and Nancy are in their own group, and they are investigating Barbara's disappearance. They develop a photo of the Demogorgon, which Jonathan has been hearing from his mother. There is some sort of monster that people don't believe her at first, but eventually Nancy finds a photo of the Demogorgon that was taken by Jonathan. So these two accidentally find a way into the Upside Down, and Nancy sees the Demogorgon, and that's where she really has a turning point in her character arc. So along with Jonathan and Steve, Nancy fights the Demogorgon at the end of the story. Mike, Lucas, and Dustin learn about Eleven's powers in their group, and they learn that bad men are chasing Eleven. This group investigates Will's whereabouts along with a potential way to retrieve him. They give the audience a frame of reference by using Dungeons and Dragons as a metaphor. They take the advanced scientific stuff, the jargon, and they present it to the audience in a way that can be understood. So they help the audience understand the concept of the Upside Down, as well as how difficult it is to reach that. All the information between these characters is critical for the final resolution to be achieved in the narrative. So this narrative device is so exciting because we see these different groups, and you think, oh man, if only Mike's group had the information that Jonathan and Nancy had. So as the audience, you're already locked in, you're thinking, oh, please get to a point where these characters can just talk so they can give information to each other. We reach a point where we think, oh man, if only Hopper and Joyce could just talk to the kids and they could tell the kids what they know. And of course, on the other side of that as well, we see Jonathan and Nancy struggling with their investigation, and as the audience, we think, if only the kids could tell Jonathan and Nancy what they know. If only the kids could tell Joyce and Hopper what they know. And the more that these groups learn through this story, the more danger that they are in because they are missing information that the other characters have, and thusly the audience has as well. And that is what makes the show exciting, is because we are invited to be engaged. A strong, a competent storyteller understands that storytelling, especially like this, is a two-way street. Not only are the storytellers, the creators of the media, are telling the story to the viewer, the viewer needs to be able to be involved with the story as well. And that is something that the creators of Stranger Things do extremely well. So it isn't until, I would say, the second to the last episode where all of the characters are finally able to sit down and talk. And it is at that point all the characters can pass all the information to each other, and all of the characters are now up to speed and they fully understand the gravity of the situation, the context, and they see a route to the solution because everyone gathered information on their own, and then at the very end of the story they share the information with each other, and that allows these protagonists to reach the resolution of the story. All of the information that has been gathered throughout the story is crucial in order for the final resolution to be achieved in the narrative. And so when you reach that point, you feel relief, you feel a sense of catharsis, you feel excitement, but there is still tension left over for the final episode, for the climax, because now the audience understands, okay, all of these characters now understand what they need to do. All of the characters understand this is what we have to do, but will they be able to do, and what will the consequences be by doing that? Because they have to put themselves in danger. They have to take another step forward in order to reach the resolution. And that is what makes Stranger Things so exciting and so engaging. That is the secret sauce, or the secret weapon of Stranger Things. And very quickly we'll go over season 3 just to drive the point home and to show that the show is consistent with its storytelling, with its formula, in an exciting and interesting way. And again, if there's spoilers, if you haven't seen this, I strongly recommend watching the show, as it is very exciting and it's just fun to watch. In season 3, we have Steve, Dustin, Robin, and Erica investigating the Russian lab, and they find a way to enter and exit the lab. Mike, Lucas, Will, Eleven, and Max investigate Billy and the location of the new threat. They learn that Billy is somehow connected to the threat. Nancy and Jonathan investigate the rats and the reports of strange animal behavior around their town. And Hopper and Joyce investigate electromagnetic activity, Russian spies, and eventually abduct a Russian engineer who has vital information about the device used to open a gate to the Upside Down. The kids understand there has to be a gate open somewhere because they are seeing monster activity. So the kids know that there has to be a gate somewhere, but they don't know where. Hopper and Joyce are the ones that are able to learn information about the gate being opened, but they don't exactly know who's behind it. Nancy and Jonathan are there to really show us the effects and the danger that is present because of this gate opening. So at crucial moments, this is where season 3 takes the formula a bit farther and pushes it to a narratively satisfying level, even more so than the previous 2 seasons, is that at crucial moments when the action comes to a climax, which happens a number of times during season 3, information is passed from one character to another at just the right time to allow a resolution to be reached. For example, when the monster is about to take Nancy in the hospital, Nancy and Jonathan are fighting a monster, and the kids show up at just the last second in order to save Nancy. And that is because the information is passed from these characters at just the right time. Also at the very end, as we're building up to the climax in the shopping center, and it looks like some characters are in serious danger and they're about to get killed, the resolution to that conflict is reached because characters are able to pass information to each other at just the last second, and the characters are basically able to come in at the last second and come in for the save. So characters, and then once there is a moment for the characters to catch the breath, all of the characters then, like the first season, are able to sit down, they collaborate, and they exchange all the information that they learned, and they bring that all together so every character now fully understands the context of all of the events. They have all of the information that was previously missing, and then we as an audience feel relief and we think, oh, thank God, okay, this character finally knows where the gate is. Oh, this character finally knows how to reach the gate. Oh, this character finally understands what's happening. That is exciting, and it's thrilling, and it builds a sense of tension. It keeps the audience hooked, and then when those characters are all able to share the information, we feel relieved because that is what we want. because by the characters having this information, they are in less danger, but also they are able to see a path forward. And we get to see how the characters use that information to bring about the resolution of the story. So that is what I wanted to discuss about Stranger Things. That's the secret sauce, what makes the show its own unique formula, and it's so fun and interesting. I'm very excited to see how season 5 turns out, because I believe that they will have to change the formula a fair bit, because it's continuing directly on from the events of season 4. So let me know what you think of Stranger Things. Is this a show that you've really enjoyed? And do you have a favorite character? Mine's probably Steve. I think he's just really cool. He's had a great character arc. So I hope this has been useful to you. If you yourself are into writing, I hope this has been useful to you. And if you just enjoy stories like me, then I hope you've enjoyed this. Okay, thanks for watching. Please take care of yourselves. Be well. Happy New Year, and have a great 2025.